I wanted to talk about the once a year population, or even once a month, maybe once a week, but they kind of pop in and out of interest like that. And everybody, if you consider what Christmas is all about, is definitely doing that. And it's a big, gracious black hole, waste of time for all of humanity, if you ask me. Because there are people that don't have a family and they don't really have friends, and they're in need all the time, really. It's really hard for them to get stuff into them. They might own homes and they might want to have an animal. Like, for instance, me. That's why I'm on Facebook, or that's why I'm here a lot, but really that's not why. See, what's up with me and a lot of people is that we like the idea that somebody might be listening or watching or something, right? A lot of us are like that. But no, I'm talking about truly social connected people. There's just an inner sense. I don't know. I'm an Aries rising, 6 degrees. It would be a complete waste, right, to not like influence each other for the better, really. Just to like exchange what the tippy top of what brought you joy. That's the key. Joy is the key, right? And share it with others. See, I find as a human being, now there's two types here. The non-human might not relate with this, but as a human being, when you experience that, it's a notch above happiness, which is joy. Certain kind of circumstances of events may have gone on that not exactly all that great, but it can open up your perception enough to still maintain joy over the lesser emotion as happiness and sadness, which tends to keep going like this. You know, there is a kind of a spectrum with those words. Like there's happiness, joy, and then ecstasy, or something like that, and then bliss is pretty up there, right? Anyway, so that takes practice, I think, just letting experiences in and not avoiding emotions, right? Because it can get pretty roller coastery up and out. Of sight, out of mind, really. What I mean is some people just don't do emotions at all. So, but anyway, this video might be just reflecting some of the energies in the air right now, building up to the pressure cooker going on. And see, I stay very alone and lone, and I consider what has happened to, well, I am humanity, so let's just say all of humanity, babes. I don't want a pity party, and humanity doesn't need that, but they need each other, really, to look at themselves, be more self-reflecting, like what is really going on. See, there's a profoundly stupid thing happening where, okay, so you know how there's compartmentalization. Your trauma could be compartmentalized by just that there's an idiot there that doesn't know that they're actually abusing you just by being the unconscious idiot that they really are. Plain and simple. Right? So you're being exposed to somebody who practices all kinds of really toxic stuff, most likely, right? Includes totally ignore that you exist and treat you like a fucking dispensary or something, right? See, I don't know anything like that, but I got a little bit of a kind of, it's trying to like clamp down on me, and I'm trying to heal it, and I don't know if it can heal. And see, this is where, babes, are you listening to me? All of you, social media, if it was turned into a social economics relief fund, but really just getting more real by way of now, okay, so it's up to us content creators, and babes, I am the highest of high trying to tell you right now. So you don't really know who I am, and neither do these people that run the same traditional value programming on everybody, which is absolute filth. Where I'm coming up, me coming up saying, good God, don't you see? Okay, so if you understood, I don't want to jump around, but what I'm trying to expose, and you can find other information too, it's here, but you won't find it like this because I am a channel. I've been chosen. There's a number of reasons why I've been chosen here. My neighbors, we are in such a different dimension, and I think they're despicable because they aren't even here for the mountains or the trees or the reality of where they are. Not the reality of reality. I mean, I'm sorry. They didn't get, they didn't make it through that to that place where it's like, see, for me, I'm collecting big time on how the fortune of my great grandpa and grandma, and I'm not talking about the wealth of the land that I'm sitting on in the house. No, their visionary capacity. One of the things my great grandma would say, and this was probably like at the turn of the century of the 1900s, maybe for sure, because my grandma heard her say this when she was a little girl, and she was born in 1926. So these people are getting back there. She said, "One day we'll see the day that water is the same price of gold, is the price of gold." And so it could be true right now. If we look like per gram or whatever per ounce, um, because gold back then was a lot cheaper, right? A lot less expensive, what I meant. And so, no, my great grandma and grandma were smart enough to find this land. My great grandpa was half Osage Indian, a very peaceful tribe. They were all peaceful until they got infiltrated upon. But anyway, rudely, really something going on there, weird. And it's not a certain kind of color that can be held responsible either, because eventually everybody would turn on each other, right? That like, if anything, you can say that the white race was the first ones to become enslaved by something. Why? Well, why not? Because they kind of see they have sorry, I'm jumping around here, but the fact of our presences here as races is just our intellectual property, what we are able to hold on to just as being here. You don't even know it, but the white race has to do with the air and outer space, and the yellow race has to do with the mind, and the black race has to do with the waters that are here, and the red race has to do with the clays in the earth. The red race is more Indian. See, there's the brown race that is of the earth. See, the red race is of the clays of the earth, and the brown race is of the dirt, and very important elements that you have to work, right? So, but the white race, I would say, is of the ethers, and to have hijacked them means that you hijack the English language, English alphabet, and the efforts there. It includes all of the efforts of whatever technology that comes from outer space, which is part of the white race's capability to, I would say, kind of like channel to know what to do. Hi, welcome to Shauna's Sci-Fi. It's only 8 minutes. How are you? Venus did go into Aquarius, and anybody with Venus Aquarius is like, tell me more. Really, I knew it. God, it's so boring just to think that whatever I was programmed with was the truth, because it made no sense at all. Can we keep making sense, Shauna? No. You have to open your own banking system through technology right here that's offering it to you. If you haven't noticed, ladies and gentlemen, there's like 17 or how many countless ways of not only accessing some kind of money, but to just have to get it into just basically, really, it's just like this weird, like, kind of loose situation where it's like, yeah, just do it through Meta. Here's my bank account. See, I don't mind giving them my bank account because I have zero. And so it's like, so what? Privacy, schmivacy. Let's see how many peanuts. That's the thing about privacy, about it, especially that. It's like, but you're afraid of people seeing how many, what your limit is. See, we are looking at an expansion of consciousness in the next 20 years by people who are capable of making a breakthrough, not only because they made that breakthrough through like mental calculations and just becoming enlightened or whatever, but no, they lived a certain way, they experienced a certain something, and it doesn't have to be like whole freaking full-on self-sustained kind of thing. No, it's just a little tiny bit that they tapped into, and they see it and it expands their mind like, oh my God. It's like the same thing. Like if you just walk through a garden, if you have a garden yourself, you begin to see, oh my God, there's actually always plenty for everybody if everybody was just to learn how to farm. I mean, did you know that through the farms and say just out the back of your stores, your local stores, they are pushing out in trash cans food that people are not buying. It's not all the way rotten, perhaps, especially the produce. I don't know about the meat, man. People should stop eating meat, pardon me. You visualize going to heaven. Do you think they're eating at the animals in heaven? Anyway. So but my cat, she eats carrots. I forgot to put carrots in her last meal, but she eats broccoli, potatoes, carrots, but of course I am putting some chickens in there, I don't know. I think that there's a different form of energy exchange that is far more advanced than food. But if you want it, if you were to switch that, you want to switch on that mode of survival, then welcome to this plane kind of a thing. I mean, getting back to the Indians running for their lives because 45 million buffalo were killed as really their source of everything. Really, they were kind of friends, and of course they used the buffalo for everything. If they did kill a buffalo, they made a flute out of its frickin' femurs, and they're eating everything. First the heart and the brain and everything. And they even lived under the skins, and they wore the skins, and they just consider the buffalo something beautiful, right? That did feed them like totally different seed. That's one thing us vegetarians can learn, right? It's like, no, actually, maybe consider that it's something that's beyond seed. God showed me one time that God, his or herself, whatever it is, it's just a I was almost going to say it's a feeding system. It's a loop back processing system where it's trying to get intelligent, and it eats whatever it is that works as far as the good geometry. It's really loving the good fruits, right? You've heard that, right? Come on, Bible people. Let's talk about the good fruits and the bad fruits. See, God is only doing good fruits. God is doing its fruits that it intends here. It's like, come on, as on earth as it is in heaven. And they're like, has yet to happen a lot. There's very little harvest coming out of here. Would you keep churning that? In fact, mulch it up. What happened? No, it's just like plastic. Well, what are we going to do with that? The truth is that plants will grow around plastic. The problem is the toxicities that are inside of it, right? But it's like perfect mulch, and believe it or not, they use plastics to keep it warm, all kinds of reasons. But anyway, sorry. I mean, but anyway, who's going to live on it? Who can really say we do better? You better imagine that you are, because maybe it'll help your lifespan here. Anyway, gosh, you guys, Venus and Aquarius, I'm going through some weird stress. I was just trying to tell you about that, danger. The thing, really, this is the first time I talked about it here, I think, is the reality of compartmentalization by just that you're being subconsciously messed with, see, by somebody else who's like, it's very interdimensional, it's entity related. It's like, can you wash that programming out of you? It's really just like this bug, and it's like, can you be a good friend instead of this wetico mind? There's where I know. See, I played a little music last night, and I've played music all my life, though, so much of it, and I've meditated enough, so much. See, I keep thinking I'm falling behind in my disciplines and stuff. It's like, no, actually, you have done so much already that you're just ready. That's the problem, and you have plenty of energy. You need to learn how to regulate and not let it implode you, because you are just full of energy. You do, and you're susceptible to wanting. See, that's why I'm doing it here. Is I would rather give it to many possibilities here that can give back to me, because giving it to like a one-on-one that doesn't really have the same capacity. See, somebody like me and maybe you who are a high energy frequency being, you actually require high energy frequency things going on. It includes just with anything and everything. Like with your cat, it's not just a cat there. See, a lot of people don't vibe into the fact that their cat will tell you their name. And it's weird, because I thought I was just trying to say, well, I will give it a respectful name. But no, Diddle Diddle is her name. And now I'm like, now I got to think of, well, why Diddle Diddle? She responds to it like crazy. And so, but, well, hey, Diddle Diddle, cat and fiddle? Maybe. See, it's like, well, get out of here with your magical names, Well, she is a dragon, and you want to talk about her personality? She's hardly a cat. Anyway, why am I talking about this? See, I'm just trying to, I try to feel better through my expressions. I'm trying to share something, and apparently, a lot of us, you'd be surprised, the entertainment you've seen on TV and stuff like that, these people have compartmentalized stuff going on in their life, right? You know that they're being shown a certain thing. See, they're being trained to express themselves, so-called, see, their career, what they want to do is acting in such a way that it broadcasts a mentality and a lower vibrational frequency onto the population that just keeps everybody stuck. Because imagine if we kept repeating a mantra, like everything was in tuned. Now you talk about rebelling. Because everything is stuck, the rebellion means to retune. That's all it means, rebel. It's important to bring this up more and more because I'm a rebeller. I'm a rebellion. See, it's just as simple as like, well, no, tune that up. Who's off? Figure out what's really going on because somebody is masking something. And then everybody has to compensate for that situation over there, kind of a thing. Talk about that compartmentalization. Now, how does that happen? Money, right? Money you need. You have a need. Really, that's what back way up. And there's a need there. There's a human need. Well, can we curb the need going on here? We have to start it. See, I'm honestly coming up with a language that I'm pointing out that it's already here. See, I was worried about people stealing it and stuff, but it's like, no, go ahead and steal it because the only use for the decoding system that comes, I think, as a package with the interfacing system that was sent from benevolent beings who live in outer space, which is the creators of creation, the English alphabet, that it's a technology, and we are a PC that is interfaced by this infiltration of language. It's a gradual programming, but it's been hijacked, okay? Mainly because it's not fully unwrapped. There's 3 dimensions here, and how do you see 3 dimensions through just words? Well, you bring the vowels up. Literally, you put them in capitalization. Now, why do we do this, Shauna? Because you have a typewriter here? You know what? All of you have a typewriter, and you are typing every day. Now, if you just concentrate, now concentrating is so that you can keep your eye on something, say, the interesting word in concentration. Let's look. Spell concentration. Spell concentration. See, the English alphabet is already pre-programmed with everything you need to understand. This thing is folding in on me. It's been very rude. The more I get closer to things, the more you don't even understand the glitches that I'm experiencing. It includes, of course, they're attacking us, slowly, because the thing that's more powerful than lies and people playing off tune is the truth and people playing on tune. And that's why most of this includes just a multi-trillion-dollar industry and employing how many people to do the news and all that shit and helicopters as loud as they can be, and let's just make mufflers so loud too and keep everybody wishy-washy going back and forth. All of that has to happen because one person could just say, actually Jesus over there says, no, you get 2 together. And I say it has to be a man and a woman. And they just go, Chi-wa! And everything just stops and goes, wait a minute. They just start getting healed. They feel the energy. They're like, no, actually, and they just want to throw away that off-tune, ridiculous fucking blueprint of a suggestion anyway that didn't come out of anything humane at all. Thank you, John Lennon, for coming today. Yes, and I would like to say that I think they're mad. Every bit of them. I would try to ask them what their idea is. I think every bit of them have gone crazy. The people that run the world. Excuse me, I'm going with Jesus Christ over here. Excuse me, bye. God damn it. Good luck, says any woman that is alive. And well, and I'm here to argue too that it's bad and you won't have kids here for 40 years until you straighten this shit out. Bitches. How's your fucking Christmas? See, I was trying to tell you in the beginning here, I would love to receive something that I can use here because people see that, man, no, this thing needs a lot more of respect and help and a job. Do you see something I can do? See, I am being stolen from all my life. You know, you see people that are playing music, for instance, or anything else, right? You just have energy, but see, the music thing for me is real. It's like, well, okay, so whatever. I don't really care. See, what I know more healing is now what I've noticed from the English alphabet, the symbol system that are there, the 3 dimensions, is more healing than anything. That's one of the things that has been sent down by the Creator to, believe it or not, just the basics to do the deciphering. And eventually, babes, I'm trying to tell you right now something. See, I'm not telling you exactly from where is all this coming from. It's coming from the fact that there are extraterrestrials, there's higher consciousness, they are here watching the planet. They are inserting things to kind of cultivate. It's like an experiment for the human being. It's a hell of a place here to learn and evolve, maybe in this part of the solar system or even the galaxy, perhaps. And so, but just reducing it down, some of this will make sense just going in general that there's a creator up there and they intend very well. Believe it or not, even with money being here. You know, it's hard to see precisely why money is here, but like why it would be of some use. Who would have this idea? Well, it's a game. So it's a game of learning, of course. And see, because on the money, some of our money, okay, I hope this doesn't cut out. It says in God we trust, right? That's the media that is saying like an instruction. How do we play this game? Well, you trust God. Well, has that been all just kind of, um, corrupt and perverted all across the board? Because what is God in the first place, right? Just the word itself. There's where your decoding system will come in. The in God we trust. That's a trippy equation to reduce down to just to what's really there, the I-O in God. That's I-O. See, the symbol I and O is an on-off signal, okay? It just means that we are aware that energy is to and fro. It kind of moves, right? There's life and death, let's say. But see, the I is meaning on, which is trip because the O actually means on when you look at the word on, and then so it's an off too. See, if there's any illusion there. See, what's happening is the I actually cuts off and regulates energy to become density. As far as if you want to know this entire reality here and how it gets here and how we are managing to see it, it's been called density before, not by just me here. But see, what I'm pointing at is the darn English alphabet and these symbols that are inlaid into the words that everybody has to use is pointing at the exactly how it's rendering up through YOU, as a real live technology that has an I, okay, an EYE, and the EYE design, the Y, I wanted to explain. I mean, you can make a 3-hour seminar on just the Y and the O and the A and the I and the U. The Y, we always see these combinations like EY. There's a reason. for that, right? And also, well, just look up the word Oya. It's not a word. It's an equation. It's an equation showing you something and so you have to use your entire intellect. See that the English are not the only ones that know this. This is something that has to be happening all around the world, and there's tribes up here that hold the original sound of the way that there's a back and forth. Now, there's a trip about this, is that the men sound a little different than the women. They don't sound the same chatter, and it's not chatter. They only convey through eye-to-eye telepathy because they are extraterrestrials, but they look like you and me, but they're just up here like this, and they do have. See, what I'm talking about now, babes, Sunday. I'll put this on a Sunday, or I guess it's like Shona Sci-Fi, is what's happening on this plane. If you're concerned about if there's ET or aliens, really there's aliens and then there's ETs, and the ETs are worried about the alien crap. And anyway, so, but the beautiful thing, it's always been here, the benevolent beings that are highly influential, and they're just going around helping and tapping people that are ready. Those are the chosen ones. The ones that have been ready are the ones who, believe it or not, they have been just kind of wandering around the most. It seems like that they're lost, and a lot of them won't catch it, but some of them will just start standing and saying, no, I trust this. Because it happens all their life that they are being targeted. They are used to holding ground in another way, rebellion, getting back to the rebel. Well, they just do everything tapping the truth. When you tap the truth, which is the same for everybody, it's available for you here. You're in a school, you're in a learning grounds. It's kind of like when you plant the seed at the right depth, at the right time, and you put the right amount of water, and you keep putting the right amount of water, you do it the right way, you're just kind of hands up in the air, but see, everything is, you're going to start tapping the truth when those sprouts come up, zing, you're caught. Your heart's going to start throbbing. You're like, and then now you want to do it more. You just get pure energy. That's why we have to start gardening. That's the perfect reason. See, it's not about the food. By the time you get it to the table, you need very little because you're just so charged up, not only but because of the sun, you carried water, and you were digging out in the dirt and grounding yourself, and then the zing with the food. It's like, well, who wants this stuff? You know what I mean? The food, it's just overflowing. And everything's kind of been turned inside out with the population out there to where when you show them that food, they're like, what is that? It's like, well, this is spinach and chard, it's really good for us. Bok choy, anybody? Yeah, the darn neighbors over here built a fence finally, but I wasn't getting on their case. They were actually kind of going like this and snooping around, and they did the weirdest thing. And when you really look at it in reverse universe, it's like, you guys took yourselves to court and just told everybody, well, here we are again, and they're looking at that fucking courthouse actually protected me towards the end. They're like, she has freedom of speech and she can say anything she wants about whoever in their neighborhood. Get off her fucking page. Get off her. Put the P down, put the A up. Age. There's a reason why that there's the word age inside a page. Now, we're not talking about aging, although you can get old reading Stephen King forever. I mean, don't get stuck on something that's fucking not going to make you grow, babes. Anyway, because, we're get back to our literature, the litter, whatever that means. I trip out on the word literature. What other word I trip out on is like, why do we call it, like, because they say literally. Why do people say literally? And it's like, well, now you're going back to words again? What do you mean? Well, maybe we are. Can you look at the word, the bird in the word? Yeah, that's just to hold on to your intellectual property. If you think that he and she exist, it's really simplifying there. And also, no. You would be surprised the bulletins that will come out in the capitalized letter when you know how to do it. See, I might be the only one in that Western hemisphere that has been downloaded only to know how to do it, but I think other people can learn it. And they can begin to see the prophecy in it. And just like, it's just timeless, kind of, there's news bulletin coming out of the ETs, man. Not kidding. This is a timeless realm we live in, actually, to tell you the truth. It's kind of peculiar. You won't believe it. I have spent enough time alone that it doesn't matter what entities try to shroud me in the lowercase. Like what I mean is the third dimensional. They call it the three-dimensional, but really it's lower than that. It's density of hell. Pretty much the mind and the way that you can get attacked. Because why? Because you have energy. And it's like, okay, yeah, no, I know how to be people's friends. Do you know how to be people's friend? See, that's we're getting back to social media and saying it's not a coincidence that the first thing that comes out is Facebook. You know, it's your friends. You have to get your friends together. It's not meant to do what 99.99% of the people are up to. It was supposed to, well, here I am. I'm trying to tell you now, if you really wanted to participate in what's really got to take place here, check it out for yourself. It takes a discipline. AI has clamped down more and more. See, it's closing off for us. But no, I've snapped it back in my phone to where it's just obeying and trying to catch on to what I'm doing. And see, but the main thing is that the monitor will pick it up and they will say, no, the human being is waking up now. See, waking up, waking. That the wording that you start to see, if you just practice putting up the vowels only, keep the I down, especially when you say I as me. So then, because there isn't a me, he, she, or me, I, me, he, or she, there's only we. So you have to, whenever you say you, as much as you can, just spell EWE, because that is symbolizing to the Intergalactic Council that we are waking up. We are waking up. Repeat it, repeat it, repeat it. You start just whenever you can. See, there's a certain time, and I'm going to be able to expand. If you're somebody who have higher consciousness and you know how to speak, you're trying to awaken people, well, there's a time when all of a sudden you just pop in. If you're typing it, you pop into the wakefulness of the words. You can see it going up and down. It begins to be very beautiful. And I'm telling you, I'm refining right in front of your face. You can see some of it where it's like, you know, or maybe it seems confusing other times. The truth is that, oh, minute 32, I'll stop this at 3:33 and 33, whatever. The truth is I've been in a trance. I've been entranced into it. I am required, my spirit guides and whoever is my life, God wants me in full-on meditation. I'm a shaman. I practice daily things that is very different than a lot of people. Includes, well, I fast. I will fast. I don't eat half of the stuff that everybody else does. I can't. I am battling all kinds of the same that the public is, but I've been maintaining it off, and most of it is spiritual. If any of the illnesses have gotten into you, I'm here to tell you that you know you don't need to be hooked in the body so much, but more the light body and the frequencies. See the rebelling thing. Just practice higher learning tools, which your eating is either making or breaking you. You know, same with everything else, really, right? And when you're alone enough, you can see that enough more and more. There's no influences around you, and I've been alone to where it seems like it's really painful. But no, I try to pinpoint like, well, what's wrong with it? Well, the main thing is because I I don't have help here. A lot of people, everything is just frozen. Really, you're supposed to have your teammates and your buddies. And see, the thing is that it's kind of segregated more so than you think. See, there's just common knowledge that in the future humanity is going to be even more kind of seemingly cold, and it's because well, that's just an illusion. It depends on where you are energetically in your knowing. You know, you can just be a good friend or you're not. There are just two types to be found here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to keep refining and saying this, and I want it to be yours. It's see, you can't steal anything, especially of the what I'm about to start exposing about the. Just keep trying to tell you about, and see the language is going to come up with the organization and this and that. You can't steal it to do anything. It's going to peter out. You're going to still remain an alcoholic, whatever, because it's meant for socialization here to bring up and make the monitor and all of the benevolence over there Zuckerberg and all the billionaires, they're like, there's more money the merrier to who? Just keep it away from. No, you're gonna bust through, you're gonna crack the code, and you're gonna show them, no, we are here. Find out the words in those in that sentence. Now, you want to make sure when you say we, put the e down, because you know that's just saying that you don't really identify as just a mind here with memory packed and now I'm an ego. No, I'm a biological phenomenon, and I have kids. See, with sheeps and goats, their offspring, their little babies, they're so cute. They're called kids. Your freaking astrology, which is your real news, that is so strange. It starts out with that you are a ram, but really it's your am. Put the R down. The R means that you can reverse it to make it to it's to simplify and also reverse. Literal verse means communications. Never forget that. There's also, like, you hear your opponents like so and so versus so and so. Really, what it is, it's like mind versus heart. Yeah, heart versus mind. Well, which one comes up with which? See, the heart will start seeing the word ear in the word earth. See, if you're a heart, you're going to be more creative with those words versus what the mind can do, which is operating on fear, which the word ear is in fear, right? Isn't that a trip? That's a trip on the F is very, very important to know, like, what symbol is that? You know, for some reason, I remember it was a long time ago, I was certain, no, that's the symbol of, is this it facing this way? It's the symbol of a dragon's head. The dragon's head, you know, fire comes out. Fire. For some reason, I think it's an animal. Just a positive and negative charge, and then when you get the ground in, you have an E. But see, a dragon breathes fire, and it's a symbol of the, see, the H has something to do with the F sound, F, too, so you have PH, that will do that, or GH. See, the H plays a very important part in the entire outer space realm. It's the element, it's the most common element, hydrogen, found. Even in exploding stars, it's found at molecular levels. And anyway, just look it up. The H, when you look at it, you say, what is the H? What is an H? Or say, what is hydrogen? And it just tells you right there, this is a symbol. Like, look, I haven't done this all. I'm doing it according to downloads and just learning, like, oh, God, what do we got to learn today? You know what I mean? Well, you mean I got to fix some darn dinner now? Somebody wants me to do that? And it's like, would you please get on my side somehow, understand, support this better, support it better, babes. We don't need help. We need support. And there is where I'm pointing at this again. Babes, you've got to brainstorm and think about this with me. It's totally meant only for sorting out that. There are just two types here. Your narcissist and your human being. I've been talking about it for so long, for 300 videos. It's just, I'm sitting here just like, oh God, see, the more I see something weird happening and going on, see, if you're getting stolen from, and you can't collect anything reciprocal, not even anything, nothing. They want to steal everything from you. Just because you're awake. But see, you can't. They can't because, well, particularly what I'm showing here is because it's only meant, see, to start the human populace. See, it's just, it will work or it won't. And see if they're working it right, and if it works for them, It works for everybody. It works for them. That means that we have the central bank open. Totally electronic. That says, fuck your bills, fuck your bills, fuck your bills, fuck your bills. Good God, would you stop that? Everybody's running and shutting on something that it like should be taken care of just because we are here. We are organized. The language is already here. They hijack it. Who are they, Shauna? Who are they? Who are you talking about? Well, you can see them talking about it. They say, our organization, and blah, blah, blah. It's like, nah, it's not really organization. Like, are you guys even turned on yet? Your heart. We're talking about heart. Let's look at the language they use. Do they even know what they're saying? True. Do they even know what they're saying? That's where you can take them to higher courts of law and just say, excuse me, I'm going to take my right to remain silent right now. We're going to find out what's really here, okay? Because what's here is in silent movie reality, and the truth is there. Whether it's like, okay, Oregon. Now you have to teach them now. Go find out what ization means. Okay, court adjourned, come back tomorrow. What did you find out? You're going to have to start, it's going to get deep. Because if it's low or high, but most likely it's the lowercase I. Zation is interesting. I say it because the N is Z is an N, but just set sideways, right? It's kind of, and I'll get into that later. These are symbols we're looking at, by the way. They aren't letters. It's really a trip because it's actually what I'm pointing at and what I'm telling you. It has the capability of, it keeps simplifying because basically the creation of creation is here because, not because it's really complicating, it's because it's really simple. Something very simple. That can begin, see, there's unlocking, see, it depends on how you were daring enough to come here on this plane and make it this far through my video and even like and then put a little emoji and go. But why don't you share it? Because this is on the verge right now. We're going to come together. You have to start capitalizing your vowels. Just do it. And watch your phone. Watch it. Watch it, babe. Don't be surprised that you're not contacted by the ones that showed me this. That said, no, we have to start this. This is getting too messed up. It's been 25 years. We see you here. See, the way that I was found is that they saw me. I started messing around with it, just fun. But no, something about it. I wish I could take another 2 or 3 hours to make this book and to tell you my experience. Basically, how I became this channel right here. Really, we're not talking about a channel. No, people become channels. That's how you pretty much have everything here. You wonder, well, how do we end up with the things we do, especially the weird things that we do, like with the television. You know what Tesla was looking into? No, babe, it's nothing new under the sun, first of all. And with this that I found, what found me, I have a videotape of just moments after I was being visited by extraterrestrials or something. It was the middle of the winter. I'm a meditator. I was doing yoga, and it just happened. And I started recording it right after, and you can see I'm totally like, where was I? And I started trying to work out. And I was like, I am never going to read another flatline book ever again. I was like, you know what? All the books need to be burned. If you knew what I knew, you would know what I mean. What I mean is, yeah, know what they were letting me know, which is the truth. Until we get our shit together here. That all civilizations that are schooled and taught with only the lowercase based literature is ran on a lie. And by intergalactic policy, even the benevolence can see that we are consenting to certain things through documents that we're not making perfect sense out of it. No, we're being feared, and then what it appears to be is that we're consenting. No, see, all civilizations built on that, which is only just recently, like look at New York over there and a lot of other places, can be by intergalactic law legally decimated down to flat riot ash and start again because there is no good foundation there that they're working with. And the fact that it's hijacked the whole entire organism, those warlords that keep that under wraps and don't let it be known, true perception, your intellectual property and your rights here, keeps them just creating the civilizations and then breaking them down and then creating and wiping them out and just and then the it's just the feminine one and this is the woman and the